Welcome to the Path of Champions featuring Twist of Fate. This time we will be taking on, I believe, is the hardest boss to date, which is the Nautilus. We are looking around to see what kind of things we want, and outside of those epic and rare power-ups, we actually want to get the Sticky Fingers, the Nab, because they are milling their deck, and we'll just help out. We will be attacking and nabbing in hopes to deck out as much as possible. As you can see here, we're just making sure that we can get as many things as possible from their deck, because I've been playing this for so long and it was so difficult for me to try and get that win. This is the only way that I personally could beat this. Does that mean this is the only way? I believe there was better. I actually had a good run with Vi that did pretty well. However, I just drew really badly, and this is something that you guys will think about, or this is something that you guys will experience on turn 7 and 8 with Nautilus. They go for game 7 and 8. 7, they drop down Nautilus. It brings back their sea monsters. On 8, they summon this one dude that makes all of them fearsome, and all of your things lose to attack, and from there on it's an OTK. So you have to beat Nautilus either on turn 7 or 8, because you are not surviving past that. You need to make sure that they are dead. So as you can see here, the Nab also helps out because Twisted Fate is not the strongest champion when it comes to durability. They have so many things that they can actually do. And so what you really want to do is, instead of trying to win them through force, you just want to make sure you stall until you can go for your hit. And which is why nabbing is also a good thing, because you get their sea monsters. But the other thing outside of that you can do is you have to build a wide board, because although their sea monsters get leveled up till later, that means that you can build a wide enough board that they can't block a certain amount. As you can see here, I have 6. And so even if they really wanted to block, like how many are they truly going to block, right? It brings them down to a 2. And then I'm able to rebuild my board yet again. And right here, I know I'm going to win with the Twisted Fate red card, because I decided to choose that one Twisted Fate that gives us that 1 extra damage. The reason why is, even on top of that, the fact that we cannot go faster than usual, they also have tough, which makes all of our things just so much weaker. And with that in mind, our next thing that I'm trying to do is make sure that there's any sort of stall. I decided to go to the Frostbite engine this time. Hopefully it works, but we will see. Excuse my neighbor's dog. My neighbor's dog is always crazy. You guys already know the story by now, but just in case you guys are new to this channel, I hate this dog. Alright, I've seen it for so long. They don't take care of it. It's borderline neglect, and I cannot handle it. Outside of that, you know, everything else is going pretty well. The Twisted Fate is able to slowly get that card draw. I wanted to go for the attack, but I couldn't because of their 4/5 tough, right? It's a really impossible to attack, but what we're able to do here is go through with the actual elusive units. That's actually the route that I go with these nabs, which is why I try as much as possible to keep my elusive units alive, because it does guarantee my nab, which means that I get to keep as many units alive. But honestly, dude, I don't know how the computer always is the most annoying thing ever. They're not even going for the strong units. They're not even going for the units that are easily killable. They go specifically for the elusive units. Like, you can have a 10-10 on their side and they'll frostbite the elusive. So we just keep on going. You can see that this nabbing is really coming in handy, because you're able to build so much board, take away all of their cards. Sometimes they have some broken cards that you just nab yourself, and so it just kind of helps out. Right here you can see that you know, frostbiting in the first time, thanks to the shaman, is actually really good, because you nab that wolf, you're actually able to slowly beat down their board, right? This is why I say that nabbing is such a good ability for Nautilus. Against Nautilus, one, it slows them down. Two, it's really good because it makes you be more offensive. You notice right there that I was trying to think about what I should get. I actually had a Lee Sin but decided not to because I'm not really using that many spells, so what's the point of doing that? So we just keep on going. We're going to be doing a little bit more of the match analysis on this one because you have to play very specific on this one. You do not just want to go for blank attacks. You can see here that I'm just going to take that 3 damage because if you block, you start you start to build their board up as much as possible. And so if you feel like you're having trouble with this one, you have to play passively. You have to block as much as possible, as you can see here, and then you have to rebuild your board, but only attack when it's like of convenience to you. You'll see what I mean by this. Notice that I did not attack with Ashe. Notice that I'm not attacking with anyone else except that one elusive unit. I did literally 1 damage and I nabbed, and from here you're gonna see I'm gonna develop as much as possible. I'm gonna stun that Tarkaz guy because he gets out of hand, and I'm just gonna keep on blocking. I'm gonna actually frostbite that 2/4 because I want to kill it, but I thought if they decide to use some sort of health increase on that guy, he's gonna be frostbitten anyway, and so they lose that mana. You can see here that I was thinking of attacking with Ashe, but like I said before, you want to play a very defensive game here. You build out a big board on this side, and then when it's your turn to attack, you're only attacking with the people that you know for a fact are going to get direct damage in. You can see here that I'm just blocking as much as possible. There really is no reason for you to not do this. I decided to find a way to keep my units as much as possible, but I think I added the 1 life health to the wrong person, and so you can see that I'm really damaging right now. I'm really damaged, but because of my weak units and the things that I'm able to nab, I actually get a good amount of units back on my board. I put that shaman in because I know next round I know at least 1 person, aka the Tarkaz, won't be attacking, right? That's why I'm able to continuously nab, and you can see that I'm just trying to frostbite. I did not pay attention that that unit actually had 4 health, and so if that was the case, I was not going to attack with my dude. I was not going to attack with my slot bot because it always generally has a lot of health that I'm able to chump block. Their units are slowly getting weakened, right? And they're slowly losing tempo. That's why you can see that I'm slowly getting that back, but I have 5 health left. I need to start swinging kind of more aggressively to get rid of their final board. That's why I decided to attack with the shaman, since everything else is frostbitten and doesn't fully matter. You can see here that I can even get rid of one of his dudes, and when I end my turn, the second guy gets destroyed due to my drawing. The good thing is they ran out of cards, something that I didn't notice until now, and so we were able to get that control, right? If we had like another turn or two, we would have definitely won, but I'm glad we were able to lose that before. You can even see here that that's exactly what I'm trying to go for. I'm trying to get that frostbite as much as possible, and so I got that special upgrade with Ashe. So when I'm summoned, she goes for a free attack, but that free attack also gets to frostbite their strongest unit. That just makes it a little bit easier because if Ashe gets to attack 2 times in a row, you know, you can just kind of keep that energy or that tempo, right? Now you frostbite 2 of their people. This is the reason why I decided to go over the Lee Sin, is because my dude has Fury, and so he's able to tank these 2 2s, but also because he's a 1-drop, and we need very fast things with Sejuani. We need to make sure that we're destroying as much as possible, and we need to level up Twisted Fate as much as possible, like immediately, as fast as you can. You'll see why right now. Well, when he levels up, spoiler alert, he gets to level up, but you will see why we really need this Twisted Fate to level up as soon as possible. We're nabbing, we're getting that spell. We know that we will be able to level up really soon. because when we summon that Zap Sprayfin, I believe that's what gets our level up. I believe that's when he does. I'm not really going to attack with anything too crazy. You can see that even with their big board, I'm playing the very defensive game. I'm building my board to have blockers, and then I'm going from there into nabbing to try and deck them out. I only have 7 life, so even though they summon that Scar Grounds, they already have tough, so that's not something I'm worried about. I'm just making sure that we always get this yellow card. The yellow card makes it way easier for us to go for attacks, and it's also a very good defensive option for us. That's why I'm going for that. You can see that I wanted to get that my cards on my side, so that way I can be able to frostbite certain people, so I can be able to build board as soon as possible, right? I'm gonna go and obliterate one of their toughest enemies, right? We're doing pretty good here. I'm going to actually be able to jump block with a few of my things, and because I'm able to now, check this out, go into my yellow card to make sure that Sejuani is actually stunned yet again, and that's what we do. We want to make sure we stall out that Sejuani. She has 11 attack. I try to block with anything and it's GG. You get to see here the thing that I wanted with Ashe. As soon as you summon, you play that free attack, and even though they're trying their hardest, they're not gonna succeed. They all get damaged, right? Even though the Sejuani is now pretty strong, I'm able to frostbite one of them, which gets blocked. I should have honestly frostbitten Sejuani, but with the second frost from Ashe, I'm able to have them be unblocked, and I go for that free attack, and that takes home the game. I'm trying to see if there's anything that I can use. I'm gonna get that double trouble just to make sure that things happen, but here it is, the Enfeebling Strike, the most underrated power of the whole meta of Path of Champions. It's good because when you have things like my Jailbreak here, my Double Trouble, it really helps out. You get to just chump block. If they try to block against you, sure, they might be able to survive or take down your thing, but they are reducing their attack as well. And so now they have a bunch of 1-3s, 1-1s, right? Which is very, very helpful for us. I'm thinking maybe I should just go for the blank attack to be able to deal that 5 damage, which is pretty good. I'm gonna keep on having my my units to build. I know that they tend to build pretty quickly, and I know that all of their 1-drops are going to have less than 3 health, and so whoever brings in my dude is going to be frostbitten, right? And then that I can use to keep giving more fury to my my 1-drop. I think his name is like Jagged Butcher, I believe. I'm thinking of trying to maybe put in that Ashe. Honestly, that should have been what I did, so that way I would have frostbitten it. But this freaking turtle, every single time I've summoned a champion, the turtle comes in, it always, like, for the past 3-4 runs of my Path of Champions, it's always hidden my my champion and always knocks it out. I put Twist of Fate, it knocks it out. And so that's why I decided not to put that Ashe. I just got like flashbacks, you know. I go for the final attack right here because they didn't really have anything, and now I put in my shaman so that way I can keep that elusive on board. Make sure that, I mean, not on board, but keep some pretty steady dead, right? I use that red card because now the red card is really effective against this kind of deck. Not only did it make our elusive guy survive, but I mean, not only did it weaken that elusive guy, but because it survived, it would still lose its attack, and so it really didn't have much, even as a chump blocker, right? I decided to get the Fury of the North just because I need to heal, and then I decide, what should I get? I think I want to get the elusive for Ashe. I used all my reroll tokens because having elusive with Ashe is very good, and not only protects her for me to be able to frostbite things offensively, but when I summon her and she goes for that free attack, it's a frostbite and they're unable to block it, so really I get 5 damage in for free. That's why I kind of decided to choose that, and I'm choosing a lot of things that help heal my life, especially for that OTK and Nautilus. If there's some way that I can only take 25 health, that'll at least give me 5 health for me to re-heal back, or just to have anything in general that can save my butt for like 1 or 2 while I'm trying to deck them out, right? That's really why I decided to choose that, and I'm glad I went for that open attack, because if it weren't for that open attack, I would have been frozen, and then I can't go against that Yeti, right? But if you can see here, the Yeti is now a 3/3 thanks to the Enfeebling Strike. Let me tell you, I will ride or die for that ability. Check it, especially with Twisted Fate. Check it out, right? In 1 turn, I was able to get that 5/5 threat into a 1/1, right? Now he's just basically a chump blocker for their side. I need to make sure that I do the same thing for that 8/8, and so even chump blocking is pretty good for me. This dude, the old guy, I forgot what his name is, like Babbling Bjord or something like that, from his deck actually came in handy because I was able to draw my Ash. And check this out, this is exactly what I was saying. Free attack, unblockable, and if Frostbite's there, dude. So when I go for my attack, check this out again. Now we have 2 things that are frostbitten. So if they want to block with them, even though they are stopping them being damaged, their attack is being dropped as well, and you'll see what I mean by that. Check it out, right? That 8/8 threat now became 4/4, right? Pretty simple kind of way of maintaining that field presence, and I'm just making sure that there's nothing that they can do to stop my level up with Twisted Fate. I was hoping that if they had something to get rid of my Twisted Fate with their blocker, with their attacker, I was able to Frostbite with Ash's spell. Here you will get, I believe, the double champ level up, because Ash right now will attack, Twisted Fate gets to attack, and now they can't even block. And so this is the power of this deck, slowing them down, making sure that there's nothing they can do, and then I go for those big attacks. Check out this attack, boom, into a perfect even game, right? Very good offense, very good defense, and so now I'm just looking for being able to chump block Fearsomes and being able to build this wide board. That's why I'm getting those 2 upgrades, one for the Cutthroat to make her a 3/1 to be able to block Fearsomes, getting the Zap Sprayfin to summon an additional Zap Sprayfin, right? And honestly, I felt like the slot bot was too slow, and so I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna cut it off. I'm not drawing too much. I don't want him to clog up my hand. You can see sometimes I'm not really drawing that good, and so there's no point in keeping the slot bot, right? It just slows you down, especially for my build. You can see here that I drew that Brittle Steel to be able to keep my Elusive a little bit healthier, right? But you can see that they're milling, right? That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm like, whatever they do, I'm nabbing and I'm milling them as much as possible. There's nothing I can do with that, but every single time that they are milling, that means that they are 1 step closer to a deck out, right? That is my perspective. However, you can see here, they are already on mana 5. I need to make sure that I can stay alive, right? I'm thinking, do I do the double trouble and keep having more one units on my field, but then I'm gonna draw more of those, and so that's something that I don't want. And so I decide to go against it, even though it will heal me for one at this point right now is not that good. I decide to keep being offensive and going for those attacks. I'm constantly looking at how many cards they have on their side. I wanted just a normal one, a normal heal. They decide to give me an Ephemera, which kind of sucks, right? But what else can I do? Honestly, another tech that you can use that I used in another one of my runs is getting Culling Strikes, because the deep people are able to be killed before they go into deep. And when they summon Nautilus, if you have a Culling Strike, you're able to immediately destroy him, right? Before he levels up. But that is a very situational thing, so I can't advise from it like immediately. You can see here they are now on turn 8, and you'll see just how huge of an advantage they get, right? I'm trying to deck them out as soon as possible. I'm trying to see if this is the best thing to do, to go for an open attack, or if it's better to go for an obliterate and have this huge monster on my side. So that way, when they get blocked, they will lose their health on the Nautilus. I should have gone for the blank attack. Now my Ash is gone. But check this out, right? Check out their 7-9 tough. I hit them, and now they're a 5-7. Unluckily, that Nautilus is insanely huge, so I'm just trying to look around to get fearsome blockers, because they summoned that one dude, that 9-8. 2 9-8s equals GG. Check this out. This is what I mean by the OTK that they summon. They always summon these two, and it's so tough. I would say it's nearly impossible to win at this point right here. Right? The moment they summon this, check it out. There's nothing I can block. That's a GG. Look at how good my hand is, and there's just nothing I can do. So you want to make sure that you get out of the match by the 7-8 mark, or you have really good spells. You have like a stun 'em, you have an instant kill, you have a kill all units. Really, that's the only way you can win. So I go again. This, like I said, is one of the toughest one. It honestly had me level up my Twisted Fate like 6-7 levels, right? And so that's what I'm telling you guys. You gotta play your cards perfectly. I should have gone for that open attack, and Ash would have probably survived. They go basically for the exact same thing again. This time I nabbed a better card from our side, the Thorny Toad, because it doesn't get tossed on their side, right? We want to make sure that they toss their spells as much as possible, or we nab them, right? Those are the things that we want to see tossed. That sunken cost is really good. We want to get rid of their that anchor that stuns our things. We want to get rid of those things, right? They're already on the mana 5. This is where I need to start gaining advantage as much as possible. So I'm trying to clear out their board. That 2/2 is still kind of there, but I'm able to use that what's it called, the Vile Feast and the Parlay to get rid of it, right? That Riptide right there is such an annoying card on their side, but check this out. We are making sure that they keep their board as clean as possible. Now they're a 1/1 elusive, pretty good. They have not much right now that they can do. So I'm just trying to build elusive blockers, or really just any tough blocker, to make sure that that elusive does not have them draw so much. But they're still able to level up. And now I know, okay, I have 2 to 3 turns max. That's it. I have maybe 2 turns. Next turn they summon their 2 9/8s, and then they go for the blank attack. And so that's why you saw me pause there for quite a while. I am thinking, how am I going to get rid of 22 life without them blocking as many? Because the moment they block, they are able to you can see here, I was talking to my friend while I was on Discord. Dude, I was playing this at like 12:30 a.m. I showed them, because they don't know how to play the game. I'm like, dude, does it make sense that now their cards are free of cost, and they are 7/7. They are almost twice as strong as the average one that I have, right? We have those elusives, so they can't block that. They're going to use the Riptide, which, you know what? It's okay, because I actually have the Ash. That's going to make it a little bit easier for us to go for a free attack and keep on frostbiting them, right? And there it is. Terror of the Tides. Keep that in mind. I hate that card so much. I wish I can commit any sort of war crimes to that card. I hate it so much. And so we're trying to deck them out. I'm like, all right, they got like 10 cards left. Let's try to see what we can do. I don't want to summon the Ash right now. I actually want to summon the Ash on their turn, so that way they can get frostbitten and they won't be able to attack with one of theirs, right? I get the Twisted Fate level up. Perfect. That means that I can stun. I can even hit with an enfeebling strike, right? I just need to make sure that I can keep myself alive. Check out how much I have, right? 30. I have 30 health, right? I'm going to summon the Ash. I'm going to draw. I frostbite one of their units, and so now they can only attack with 5. But check out, I cannot block with literally none of my things, and it's already an OTK. I'm going to use that red card to make sure that I stun 2 of their people, so that way I can at least survive for 1 more. but you can see that it's not just the stun, it's also lowering their attack with the enfeebling strike. I honestly think this is the only way I could have won, because now I have all my elusives and I'm able to go for that final attack. Dude, I was on the verge of tears when I was here. I was like, oh, I finally won. This took me about, not even lying, 25 attempts. 25 hours, maybe 2 weeks playing this, because I can't play this I can't play this like casually. I mean, I only play this casually, right? I don't really have time to do this full time. So which is why I urge you guys to subscribe, help me get a little bit of money from these videos, right? If you guys enjoy these guides. But this took me literally 2 weeks to try to film. There's someone out there that has been requesting TF, dude. This is a tough one. Good luck with this one. Guide for Nautilus. Go wide on the blocks. Go extremely aggressive on the offensive. Get enfeebling strike or any sort of stall as possible. Frostbite, you saw me have frostbites. With Kennen, I had recall. Try to get recalls. If it's possible to get kills like Ruination or anything like that, use Ruination, right? Do everything in your power that you can to get rid of those things. That is what I want you to think about. Get nabs to deck out as soon as possible, right? Do anything you can to end the match as fast as possible, or to stall until your Lee Sin or anyone else is able to take out their attacks or OTK them, right? Pro tip is to have fearsome blockers. That is going to help you out. But thank you so much for the support. Please subscribe if you can. I will really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.